Talking Music with Big Andy. You might be asked if you're okay with recording.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello and welcome back to Talking Music with Big Andy. I'm Big Andy Walker, and this is the first one we've done for a while. New format, new things going on, all that kind of thing. So let's get straight into it. This week I have with me band from Essex called Saving Peach. Hi guys, how you doing?
Nice to meet you, Andy.
Good to meet you. You all right?
Yeah.
Good. Now, I am in a little bit of a strange position here because normally when I do these interviews, I like to do as much in-depth research as I possibly can on the band before I talk to them. My in-depth research, as far as you're concerned, is watching some of your videos, seeing posters and things saying that you're playing live, and the fact that you come from Essex. That's it. So tell me a bit about yourselves. How did you get together? You know, how did the band come about?
Well, I started the band with drummer Shane years ago now, and we had another member called John as well, who was originally the bass player. He decided he wanted to play guitar, so we needed a new bass player. So I invited John to be our new bass player. The other John then left, and we became a three-piece again. With a John on bass.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and it's just been the three of us for, when did we start?
About 6 years ago now.
Yeah, it was a slow start, with everyone being busy and stuff. So gradually building up songs. I mean, we wrote far more songs than we needed to before we ever even did a gig, and then realised no one would ever let us play that long of a set. So right from the start, we had the problem of, which songs do we have to cut out?
Yeah.
I think we over prepared.
So, I mean, have you always done sort of original stuff? It's not been you didn't start off as a covers band.
No, it was original straight away. We throw in a cover now and then, but pretty much just all originals, isn't it?
Because I know a lot of bands start off playing covers and then gradually introduce their own stuff as they go. But it's got to be quite scary, the idea of going out completely as a new band, just playing your own material.
Yeah, it's going out and playing your own, because what we've kind of found for a lot of our gigs is, because being sort of back then sort of a new band, it was kind of, you were slotted in on nights where maybe it was trying to get new people in, or somebody dropped out, so your music might be slightly different to what every other band's doing.
Or completely different.
It might be on like a metal night, but like sort of alternative rock, and it's just like,
yeah, we done one with R&B and pop, wasn't it? And then
an acoustic hat,
and then we came on after.
Yeah, that sort of,
some heavy rock songs.
Yeah, that was the Fiddler's Elbow in
London.
Yeah. That was.
It's. I mean, I know it's when people put you in, or like just fit you in wherever they can. It's quite an interesting sort of.
There is one good thing though with just doing your own songs and not doing covers is you don't feel any pressure to compare it to the original song or sound like the original track. It's your track, so it sounds how you want it to. And no one's going to go, oh, no, that's not how it goes, or anything like that.
Yeah, there is that. That is very true. So, I mean, would you say that what you play is indie rock, or how would you define it?
We've always had trouble when people ask what genre we are, haven't we? Because it depends on the song at times.
Yeah.
And we go between sort of punk rock, alternative rock,
and maybe just sort of like slightly heavier rock. But yeah, it really depends on what we're playing. We try to add some variety, not stick to particularly one genre, because we just find if we stuck to one genre, we didn't want a set where it sounds by the end of it, people are going, how many songs did they play?
Yeah.
When was the new song started? We want to try.
Yeah, I think that is one good thing. A lot of our songs, it's very obvious when we've changed to a different song because often they sound completely different.
Yeah.
So you can people often do remember what their favourite one was because it's, you know, they sound so different. But I guess they also there'll be some that they really don't like for the same reason. So it's kind of a
you're never going to please everyone, are you?
No.
But I mean, the thing is, I mean, to be honest, with the other bands I've talked to and that sort of thing, and I am of this opinion, I don't really like this whole genre thing. You know, it's just music when it comes down to it, and as long as it's good music, it doesn't really matter what it is. The problem nowadays is when you get streaming services and places like Spotify and things like that, they tend to want you to choose a genre so that they can put you into their algorithm. And it kind of then becomes a bit of a pain because it's sort of like you say, oh well, we're, I don't know, heavy rock, and then somebody listens to it and goes, that's not what I think it's heavy rock. You know, it's
yeah, they kind of like picket fence you into sort of this little box, and it's like that's just maybe one or two of your songs.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to start writing for the genre you've been put in either. You don't want to squeeze your songs into it and change them to fit if that's not how you wanted the song to come out.
So sorry, obviously the whole COVID thing got in the way of playing live and doing other stuff and all that sort of thing, and I know you put things on hold a bit for a while because of that. So you're now out there playing live again and all that sort of thing, and you've got an EP out. Is that on Spotify or any of the streaming things, or where is that available?
Yeah, it's on pretty much all of them, isn't it?
All the major streaming sites: Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, YouTube.
Yeah.
So
that's the one I use.
Yeah,
no one uses.
Yeah, I use Spotify.
Everyone sends me Spotify links, and I go, I can't go on it. I use YouTube Music, and they go, what's YouTube Music?
Yeah.
No.
Ones where you pay not to have the ads, isn't it?
Well, that's it.
I have noticed
over Spotify.
I have noticed that you actually you did a cover version on your YouTube channel a little while ago, which I was quite interested by, which was your version of Last Christmas.
Yeah,
which was that was quite interesting, I must admit. What made you decide to do that? Was it just a bit of fun, or was it?
That was just a crazy, stupid idea. Because when was it we decided to do it? I think it was halfway through. Yeah, it was halfway through November, and so the deadline to actually get this was before we'd even started writing our version of the song or anything. And I said, let's do a Christmas song; it'll be great. And then we basically had about 2 weeks to practice the song, get it right, record it, mix it, put it out there, and then do a music video, which we filmed here in my house. Yeah. And it was a hectic couple of weeks, wasn't it? It was just every day.
But yeah, because you wrote the sort of outline of kind of an idea of how you wanted the version. You sent it to me, and then like a day or two later, I sent you like my part of it, and you were like, "Yeah, that's good song." Then you kind of used that to polish all your parts, and then we then did the drums after, didn't we? Because that's the magic these days, is that if you can do stuff at home and do it really well, you can kind of, doesn't necessarily matter which order you do stuff these days. You can put it all together like after in the mixing stage.
Yeah, I don't know why I chose that song in particular. I just felt like doing it.
Yeah,
The thing about it is, it's the song that most people don't want to hear at Christmas.
Yeah,
yeah, the whole
that's what we were kind of saying, wasn't it? Adding to everyone's misery. Like, we've got a version now as well. Oh, Whamageddon.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But if it's not the original version, it's a cover or an
That's it.
interpretation.
We're
You'll
providing
find
an
you don't,
alternative.
Yeah.
you don't get caught out with Whamageddon, as you were saying. You have to hear the original version by Wham. So we were too annoying that people go, oh, being Whamageddon.
Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Once bitten, twice shy. I keep my distance, but you still catch my eye. Tell me, baby, do you recognize me? Well, it's been a year, it doesn't surprise me. Merry Christmas! I wrapped it up and sent it with a note saying I love you, I meant it. Now I know what a fool I've been, but if you kiss me now, I know you'll fool me again. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special.
I must admit, I was going to say, I've been looking at some of your videos and that sort of thing. I really like, there's a track you do called Hurts Like You, which I
Yeah.
really like. The version you got on YouTube is an acoustic version. I haven't heard the proper version of it, but I really like the version that's on there. Is there a great deal of difference between that and the?
Well, no, I mean, I play exactly the same when we play it live on the electric guitar. Just
There's just more sort of a changing dynamics in the way.
yeah, and obviously with the drums add quite a lot to especially the bridge part with the
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically the same song. It's just a much more quieter version.
I must admit, I like that version of it, but I really like the song. I think it's a great song. The way it's put together is really good. It's got a great feel to it. Where do you get your ideas from, and who does the writing? Is it sort of like between you all, or is it just you do most of it and then they put their bits in, or what?
Yeah, I normally would have written the sort of main structure of the song. I write all the lyrics and then sort of come to them at band practice and go, look, I've got this new idea. And then they sort of add parts and suggest ideas, and then it sort of evolves from that. But normally the structure is there, isn't it?
Yeah, you sort of come with the sort of, I wouldn't say bare bones, but quite meaty bones of a song, and it's just kind of building up from that. Yeah. And what would you say, kind of like inspirations for your song?
Oh, I don't know. Anything really, anything I've been thinking about. That one, Hurts Like You, I actually wrote about our drummer Shane.
All right, okay.
Yeah. It was after a certain rehearsal we did, and he'd recently split up with his girlfriend at the time, and he was, he seemed quite, most defeated I've ever seen him, sad, and it was quite a contrast, because the time before he'd been telling us about his injuries he had
from quite a nasty sort of motorbike accident when he was younger.
and he ended up in a coma.
All right.
it's got, you know, broken bones and stuff. That's where that line comes from. But he's all like, oh yeah, this happened to me, and he's all kind of like brushes it off and no big deal. But then after this, he seemed a lot worse.
Yeah.
So then that's why it was kind of like, I've had broken bones, but nothing hurts like you.
Yeah.
More sort of the emotional rather than physical.
It was kind of, I mean, I wrote that song literally after that band practice. We got back, and I just just come
and I
up
think then it was like next band practice. You showed us. I think that was only a matter of like a week or two in between, and it's like straight away it was like, no, this is a very good sort of catchy song and very well written in the sense of like the lyrics like are very sentimental, and it just works very well. It's like
it does. It works really well.
It's like one of my favourite songs.
Do you find it easy doing the songwriting? Is it something that comes easy to you?
Yeah, it's probably a bit too easy, really. I'm just all right. I think I get on their nerves a bit because almost every other week I'm like, I've got a new song for us. I've got a new song for it. Like, you got to learn this.
That's not such a bad thing. It keeps us on our toes, and I think it keeps then things quite fresh because it's, you know, say if you've written over a couple of months half a dozen songs, and if we use all of them, that's fantastic. Or if we get one really good song out of it that like we want to add to our set list, it's not like we're then sort of going, we're not sort of trying to have to use songs we're not necessarily as keen on just to try and sort of bulk the set list out. We can pick the best of the lot.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever have that problem.
No,
the opposite.
Who are your influences when it comes to music? I mean, are there specific bands, or is it a music style, or what is it?
Go on, you go first, John.
for me, I think two kind of sort of main influences for me would be bass player from Muse, Chris, and then really sort of kind of what got me into playing bass was Mark Hoppus from Blink-182. So I kind of draw my influences from that sort of in the way I kind of try to write my parts, where sort of like try to add something a little bit different. Sometimes, you know, kind of go slightly off in the songs compared to what's being played, and sort of come back. Like with Zombie Girlfriend in the chorus, it's the sort of start for me. The bass kind of goes slightly contrast to the song, and it comes sort of straight back in to what Mike's playing. I don't know if you kind of do that a little bit, and then sort of like the Mark sort of thing for me is just sort of some of their more sort of pop punky songs that we do, kind of try to draw the energy into that, and also we've tried to use that sort of stage basically as well, because I know they're quite active even at sort of their age now, kind of sort of no one likes to see a band just kind of stand around the spot with like a bit of energy.
Well, I had the opposite problem with that when we started the band. I'm not normally a singer. I just sort of ended up being the singer of this one. But I tend to move a lot when I'm playing, just jump around, and I'm really into it. And then suddenly I was stuck in front of the microphone. And I remember at our early gigs, someone commented and was like, I love all that moving you do when you're singing. Is that intentional? Do you rehearse that? I went, what moving? And he went, you're always like doing this while you're playing. I think that's just me trying to keep myself on the spot.
You to come out, but you know you can't move away from the
My body's going, run over here.
It is a problem when you're singing, especially if you're singing and playing guitar. You can't run around all over the place and do both, can you?
Not that most of the stages we play on have space to do that anyway.
No. Well, this is true.
It's already touching elbows as it is.
That's why it's great sometimes to play festivals and things like that when you've got a bit more space on the stage.
That's like when we said the first time we played Chinneries. And I was standing still as I'd gotten so used to it. And then John was all the way over the other side of the stage. And I just sort of at one point between singing parts, I realised there's all this space. I'm going to go for a walk. And just go over here. And we just both met in the middle, didn't we? It was like, we can't normally do this.
When we played HMV in Romford, the stage was so small.
It was only the drummer.
Only the drums could fit on the stage. We had to stand in front and barely could move. We were like statues. Because otherwise we were just like knock everything up.
Well, a funny one we did was at Luna in Leytonstone, and there is no stage, so you're just standing literally in front of the crowd there, and we're standing there playing, and they were all moshing like mad right in front of us, and one of them came flying into my microphone, and I had to sort of jump out of the way because it came shooting at me.
Yeah, that was a good gig.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Yeah.
It's part of the fun of being a band in a small pub, and is that you get involved with the audience. You get to interact with them, not necessarily as close as that, but
yeah.
So, sorry. So you mentioned Zombie Girlfriend, which that's the latest video you've put up, isn't it?
Yeah, that was the single from the EP and the first video.
Well, yeah, the Christmas one was after that. We did that just before the Christmas one. Well, that was why it was such a crazy rush to do that, because we just finished Zombie Girlfriend, didn't we? The video for that, and we just put out the EP.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Right, you can have a rest now, Mike, and calm down." And I was like, "Let's do a Christmas song."
Yeah, like, I can't keep still. I can't like not do something. So yeah. Crazy idea. Christmas.
But that was that video turned out. I was really happy with that. That came out again. We did that all ourselves.
Yeah.
My wife did a lot of the filming, having never done it before. John sort of came up with the idea for the video.
Sort of like trying to kind of have that sort of post-apocalyptic world sort of thing, even though it cost budget. So it's kind of very small stage that we had, but it was kind of, well, why not make it in some sort of kind of like sort of Mad Max style sort of Thunderdome thing with the cage and being all dark and all this sort of distant type world thing. So that's why we did that, and then had sort of like the posters up and all stuff like that. We drew sort of influences from that,
because it was sort of like, but that's why we come walking in and put the keys up. It's like we've locked ourselves in this cage so we can play music, and the zombies can't get to you while you're in there playing. I must admit,
as a big fan of horror movies, I really like that sort of video. I like ones that pull on that sort of influences. I think they work really well, and I really like the video and the song. I think they're really good. So you got your EP out at the moment, and you've been gigging. Most of your gigs have been fairly local.
Yeah, just around Essex. I mean, even only down this side of Essex, sort of from, we've done Romford, Grays, Basildon, Southend, all that kind of
that sort of side of it.
Did one in Brentwood.
Yeah, done a couple in London, but that's a hard sort of thing to break into, being such a sort of a small band.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these London gigs are a bit, you know, they're almost like they want you to. A lot of them are pay to play type gigs. They want you to buy tickets and then sell them on after, which we just do. We?
No, it's you've got to be up to a certain level as a band. Fan base wise to be able.
We don't have that London following for people who live there to come, and for people around this way who do like the band, they don't want to travel all the way up to London, especially when they know they'll probably see us local. So
I mean,
up to London.
I know a lot of the gigs in London, they like you to have a certain amount of people. It's like you've got to guarantee you'll have at least 100 people turning up before they even thinking about booking you. Which is a bit difficult if you kind of like a small local band, as you say, getting people to travel. It's not really always easy to do. But I mean, I'm assuming you want to expand your kind of field of play, as it were. You know, look at moving out and doing gigs in other places and bigger places, that sort of thing. Yeah,
definitely. And we was talking about trying to improve our online presence, wasn't we? Because we're not we're not very good at social media and stuff, although we do try. But as I say, it comes along with it, but it's not why you start being in a band, but it's inevitable. You've got to do it these days.
That's one of the things I was saying is it's like sort of there's not a lot of information online about who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
That's kind of band history bios.
I hate that stuff. You know, I was even dreading this because I just hate talking about yourselves. It's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit difficult.
You just want to go, look, we made a song, have a listen.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Uh,
Unfortunately, these days it's not as easy as that. It used to be really easy. You just sort of like, you send a tape off to a venue, they book you to play a gig, you get people turning up and they come and see you at the next one, and it just built like that. But unfortunately, it's not quite that easy nowadays.
we were born too late, John.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because I just feel that it has changed a lot in the sense of that now, because everything is so readily available, like your music online, videos that you've made for your songs, you can even like stream stuff live now, like live performances. A lot of people just are happy to do it from the comfort of their home, whereas there are still many people that want to go out, but it's just difficult to get people to go lots of different places. You know,
What I find, I don't know if you think this, it's crazy. Like some of the higher prices that some of the big artists are charging tickets for, and people won't think twice about buying them. And then you can have a local band playing a gig for free, and they're like, "Well, no, can't bother."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
And some of the local bands we've seen and some we played with are really good, like genuinely really good, and better than some of the bands I bought expensive tickets for.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I mean,
you pay good money for this, and they're playing a lot of the time for free, all in these local venues.
yeah,
But
I mean,
people don't seem to want to go out to these local gigs so much anymore.
yeah, I don't know what it is, because that used to be when I was. I mean, I know I'm old now, but when I was younger, that was what everybody did. Everybody went down the pub and there was a band playing, and you know, yeah, that was just the way it went. You know, Saturday night, especially Fridays and Saturday nights, especially, you go down the pub, there'd always be a band playing. Sometimes they were great, sometimes they were naff, sometimes they were okay. You know, you take your pick, and you know, sometimes you'd find a band that after a while you go, I really like them, so if they're playing down here again, I'll come down and see them.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to work that way. It's not as easy nowadays getting that sort of getting people to come and follow you that way.
Yeah, I mean that's what we said. We were trying to do it all the wrong way, trying to just not really do much online and get by on doing local gigs, but then no one knows who you are, so they come out.
Yeah,
So they end up playing to empty rooms.
I think it depends what it is you want out of it all. If you're happy sort of like ending up playing to, like, you know, 50, 60 people in a club, sort of like, you know, on a irregular basis, and you're quite happy doing that and enjoying your music, then that's fine. If you want to actually take it somewhere and make things with it, you've really got to push it now. You've got to really sell yourself and sell your music, which, as you say, lots of people don't find easy, and it is difficult because you've got so many other bands out there doing the same thing.
Yeah.
yeah, and you might find, say, some online platform, they might go, "I'll send us your demo tracks, and if you like it, we'll play it, and we'll give you like plug on your online social media accounts and stuff like that." And you realise they probably get like 1,000 emails in a week with other bands because because now the evolution of technology and being able to do a lot of stuff at home and the internet. Where before it'd be, you might see an ad in a magazine or a newspaper and you might get 20, 30 tapes, but and now it's just they probably can't get through all of it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I even see on Facebook, you see someone do a post like that, send me your tracks and I'll play it here or wherever. And then the comments go up in like 900 comments or whatever, just people, check out my band, check out my band.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
There's just so many.
And
not that it's a bad thing, but it's getting your music heard by the people who might be interested is a lot harder when there's so much to sift through.
Yeah. I mean, one of the ways that I think a lot of bands are doing it now, and it's sometimes it's a little bit easier now than it used to be. It's getting onto kind of like small festivals and things. You get onto small local festivals and stuff like that, and a lot of the time you can do that through word of mouth. If you play a gig supporting another band, or they're playing another band, you know, I mean, you play somewhere where another band are playing at the same time, or they played there the following week, and everyone's talking about your band, then you kind of get to know each other because you're doing the same places.
Yeah.
And you kind of get invited onto things, or they tell you about things, and it just builds like that. Have you thought about doing like festival stuff or?
Yeah, we've got one coming up.
Stack Festival in Canvey Island,
Yeah.
and
Alright.
then we're still kind of waiting to hear back about doing a festival in Romford, which we were meant to do last year, but obviously,
Oh yeah, they did. They invited us back.
Yeah, but we're just kind of waiting to hear what day
What
we
day
might
and
do,
that,
and
yeah.
if it's like
I think
definitely
they'll
100%.
probably decide that close to the time, like last time. That was a bit annoying because we were lined up to do that last year, and then it was the Queen died, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Queen passed away, so
and it got cancelled.
yeah.
These people are so inconsiderate. aren't they?
I know that they took a lot away from what they was doing for that festival.
Yeah,
obviously.
just calmed it right down. They didn't want all the.
Yeah, so they didn't want to kind of make it this festival celebration
Music.
after.
Yeah. So is that on sort of like, is it open air festival in Romford or is it an indoor?
It's just like some outdoor kind of. I don't know.
I think it's in the marketplace, so I think it's
Oh, right.
outdoor, kind
Yeah,
of like where
something.
the Romford shopping mall
What's it
is.
called? Something the street.
Celebrate the Street, I think it's
Is
called.
that what it is? Celebrate the
Oh,
street.
okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
and it was kind of meant to be celebrating. I don't know if it was like 100 years of the sort of Romford market area, but I think it was kind of a milestone of years for them.
All right, I'll keep an eye out for that. If you're playing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is that since I first saw you, because we talked about doing this interview a year ago.
Yes,
We
yes,
first
yeah.
talked about it, but things have happened in between. But since I first saw you guys on stuff online and that sort of thing, I've been looking out and I just haven't managed to get to see you anywhere. I haven't been able to get anywhere to see you live, which I wanted to do, but I haven't been able to do it. I will get around to it. I really want
We
to do
always
it.
say we're better live than on the recordings, don't we?
I think a lot of bands are, because I think the thing about it is that you put more energy into it when you're playing
Yeah.
live. You kind of enjoy it more, and it's more of sort of like more of who you are when you perform.
Yeah. I say that about almost every band I see. I just think they're all just so much better live, just because it's that feeling you get.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen a couple of bands that I would say were actually better on record than they were live, but well, I'm not
Maybe
going
I
to.
don't
I
see those
won't
ones.
name any names at the moment. But so
Those ones that do better if you're better on the record than live.
yeah,
And everyone sees it, and yeah, we do it the wrong way round.
well, no, you see, I have seen a couple of bands, and you were saying about putting energy into it and personality, being on stage and moving and all that sort of thing. I have been to see a couple of bands who they've got quite energetic music, and their videos are quite good. And then you go and see them perform live, and they just stand there and play, and you kind of go, "What are you doing?"
I don't even understand how people can do that. It's so hard to if you said stand on stage, don't move and play the song like that, I would find it so much harder than just
Yeah.
moving around.
Yeah.
New word from the nation's top scientists on the zombie virus that appeared 2 weeks ago. Be advised that if an infected becomes hostile, the only way to harm them is to shoot them in the head.
It's getting to the point where I don't know which one of us is insane.
So, what are your plans now for more music? I mean, you've got the EP out, which you promoting and all that kind of thing. Are you planning on doing more EPs, or are you looking to do?
We were thinking of just doing singles for a while, because that way we can just sort of get stuff out more frequent. We've only done the EP last year, and it came out October, didn't it?
Yeah.
And like, probably had about 3 songs already finished early in the year, January, February time, and we could have had them out, but it was waiting to put the whole EP out and then all at once. So we had a long period of nothing. So the new plan is, once the song's done, we'll put the song out and then start on the next one.
Yeah.
That way we can keep up a better online presence. As is the new plan. So we're still here, here's a new song.
And just kind of have a bit more to sort of promote, because
Yeah.
you know, we look at sort of how other bands are sort of going forward with how they do things, and they've got like sort of new music coming out, or they've got a music video, or they're kind of doing something that's interesting.
Yeah.
If you sort of kind of just put stuff out every day for the sake of it, you can get a bit boring, and people just will just scroll past. You need something that's kind of new and sort of refreshing, and so it's sort of a new song or a new video or something.
Yeah. That's the thing as well, we don't like just doing posts about anything, do we?
No.
Yeah,
We
no.
try to keep it music related, because that's the whole point of the band.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think, as you say, if you put stuff out too much, if you put too much out too often, people get bored of you being there. Whereas if what you put out, when you put it out, is things like new songs, new videos, it's stuff that people will then go, oh, let's see what they've put out, because it's always something interesting.
Yeah. And like you were saying, like with bands who can put out, say, an album once in a year and go the rest of the year doing nothing, that's fine. You're sort of a bigger band and people wait for it, and then you do your tour that year and that's it. But from our situation, we do need to do more smaller but frequent, spaced across the year kind of stuff, don't we?
Yeah, kind of like plan stuff out, kind of like how we're going to work across the year, rather than, as you're saying, album, tour,
silence.
then
I mean,
post or new music in
We
the wake.
We do have a song almost ready, don't we, to come out?
Yeah.
Probably, what are we in now? February, halfway. Probably come out in March, I'd say.
Yeah.
Cool.
So March.
Crossfire.
Cool.
Yeah.
So is there going to be a video for that, or?
We were thinking of doing a lyric video. We did think for our Zombie Girlfriend video about doing a story with a girl who was actually dressed up as a zombie and stuff, but doing that ourselves, we thought we might make it look a bit cheap and lame.
Yeah, you didn't want to kind of like cheap and sort of cheesy or anything like that, you know. And then
I don't know. You see,
for some bands, that we just felt that for us, if it didn't go down well, it's quite a negative thing to start off with. And it's really hard.
The first one, we wanted to do something that we knew, there's no problems with.
Yeah, no, I understand that completely. Although I will say,
we do have a Zombie Girlfriend Part 2, so
I will say that horror film fans are very forgiving of cheesy. So, in fact, quite often, the more cheesy and worse it is, the better they like it.
Yeah, cold pouring, wouldn't it?
Yeah. We have to have about 20 years for it, though.
Yeah.
Never happens straight away.
We'll be legends in 20 years' time.
Yeah. Overnight sensation by the time you're 70.
Yeah.
So, where do you want to take this eventually? I mean, are you looking to have sort of like 3 nights at Wembley Arena, or are you just sort of like thinking to yourselves, maybe in a few years' time we might be able to play some major venues or some bigger venues somewhere, and maybe break into London?
No, it's for me, if something like that happened, that would be amazing. However, it's also wanting to enjoy it while going along and not necessarily putting too much pressure on it. Like
Yeah.
you hear some bands, it's like we've got a 10-year plan type thing, and they kind of do that after being together for a year or two, establishing the style of music, stage performance, to what they might dress like on stage, just all of that, and then kind of go right from here, all systems go.
Yeah.
Thing. It's hard to kind of plan something like that. I think for us at the moment, it's we would love to be playing to sort of new venues, like for us, bigger crowds, sort of small local festivals, and kind of maybe sort of see what we want to go from there, see what people want.
Yeah.
I just play songs to people.
Yeah.
Anyone who will listen.
I mean, I have talked to bands who do have these kind of like 10-year plan of, if we're not at this place in 10 years' time, then we haven't made it. And you kind of go, well, it's not necessarily true. And the other thing is the fact, I think, if anything, if the last 2 or 3 years have taught us anything, it's the fact that you can make as many plans as you like, and then something can come along and kick you straight in the teeth, and you'll never get it done. So you're better off sort of like working sort of like a few months ahead at the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know, you could book a festival and the king could die next time.
Yeah. And that's the thing, isn't it? It's also with what's kind of been kind of your budget as well, because someone like us, sort of, mortgages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just what you can put into it, because some people.
That's why we do everything ourselves.
Yeah, because which takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Which takes a lot of time. Where some people will go to a studio, they'll pay someone to record it and mix it and do all that, and they're kind of off then doing their own things.
Costs can start stacking up, can't they?
Yeah,
Stuff.
just talking to other bands, just like them kind of not saying the exact number, but saying kind of roughly what they spent on just recording one song or an EP and then their video, and you're like, wow.
Yeah, it's recording the tracks, getting it mixed and mastered, recording a video with an actual team that know what they're doing, and then paying to promote it afterwards, like people do online.
Yeah, because that's hard, isn't it? To promote online these days, because it feels like you've got to pay to get to the top of the list.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, sometimes it does feel like that, I think. But I think the
There's
thing
a lot of people there trying to scam a lot of bands as well, though, I think.
Yeah.
Trying to pay up for nothing. Getting you put on these Spotify playlists that no one's going to listen to. It's just full of all the bands that have paid to be on it.
Yeah. But I think that there's a lot to be said for kind of doing it your own way and doing the things that you want to do the way you want to do it. I think it's a bit like the genre thing. You keep control of what you want to play.
Yeah, exactly. That is one of the fun parts as well. Is we do whatever we feel like, don't we?
Yeah,
which is always more enjoyable than trying to fit to what management might push you towards doing or whatever.
Yeah, if you were say managed by someone or on a record label, they go, right, well, you've got to be doing this or that, and we don't like you doing that style of music, and you've got to do this, and no, we don't like your image, so that's got to change, and all of a sudden you're potentially not the band you used to be, just because you want to make it, and then that can really suck the fun out of it. It's just like
yeah.
No, I agree. I think this is the thing. I think if you, as soon as things you want to do, whether it be bands, making films, doing podcasts, whatever, as soon as it feels like it's becoming a job, you kind of don't want to do it anymore. Because you kind of look at it and go, I didn't want to do a job. If I wanted to do a job, I would have gone and got a job.
Yeah, unless your music career as such is kind of, you've been lucky to kind of keep everything almost independent, and then even though it's a job, it doesn't feel like one. I
Yeah.
feel like sometimes when you're told to change too much, that's when it can get a bit difficult. But some people are happy with that because they just want to be up performing, even if sometimes it's what they get to do, and sometimes it's not. They just want to be perform. Like actors,
Yeah.
they don't always do the films that they want to do, but they just do it because they have the love for it.
Yeah. It's difficult sometimes, I must admit. But well, I hope that everything goes really well for you, and I hope to hear more new stuff very soon. And I do hope to get to come and see you live at one point in the near future. And I don't know. Good luck with everything. And before I finish up, there is one question I haven't asked, which is something I've got to ask, and you probably have been asked loads of times before. Why are you called Saving Peach?
I knew you was going to ask that. It's his idea.
Yeah. So sometimes I go through this thing of I need new music in my life, and I'm like, I put myself on like a strict thing. No,
Is that when you've been playing our songs for a while?
no. I'll be like this week I'm not allowed to listen to any bands that I know. That includes albums I've not listened to yet, and so I've got to find new artists. And so I came across a band called Skillet, and there was a song on, I can't remember which album it is, but it's called Lucy, and it's quite a sad song. And so I came up with the idea at the time, Saving Lucy, and so I put the idea forward, and they were like, "Who's Lucy? Who's Lucy?" So I was like, "Yes." And so I kind of just came out with, "What about Saving Peach?" And they're like, "Okay." And I said, "Well, because we all kind of like computer games and Nintendo and Mario, hence the Saving Peach."
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's where the name came from. So from one of my kind of going down a tunnel finding new music came back to our band name.
I must admit that was the first thing that came to mind when I saw it. It was like, is that something to do with Mario? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we did a little peach logo, like an actual peach, so we weren't too associated with Nintendo.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want Nintendo suing you.
Yeah, don't sue us.
Yeah. But we have had a couple of people going, they like asked me, going, why peaches?
Yeah,
Like,
always
as if
no one
one
gets
about the
it.
fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Mario reference.
It's an ecological thing. It's save the peach.
Yeah. Okay.
It was funny, recently on Instagram, there was a girl from Norway whose name was Saving Peach. So we had to be Saving Peach UK.
Oh, right.
So I sent her a message and said, as we got a band with this name, would you mind, giving us the Saving Peach name so we can have it? And we got talking, and she listened to the band and really liked it. So she said, yeah, you can have the name, which is really cool. And she said, oh, do you mind me asking why you picked that name? So I said the same reason. And then she said, oh, no way, that's exactly why I called myself Saving Peach.
That's cool. That is really cool. Wow, got a new fan, see?
Yeah, we saw on the old Spotify demographic thing of who's listening. We've got one fan in Norway now. Yeah,
there you go.
We made it.
International
coming.
Internationally famous band. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with everything, guys. I hope it all goes really well for you, and I hope to see all of your stuff soon, and maybe more of an internet presence. All right, thank you to everyone for watching, and check out Saving Peach. As always, I will put links up to their social media and their YouTube channel so that you can check out their stuff, and look out for them playing local to you if you live local to them. That don't make any sense. There you go. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Bye.
Bye.